Wolfenstein 2 was not exactly what I thought it would be, in a good way. When I play FPS games, I expect a linear gameplay with simple protagonist who shouts one-liners as he kills tons of enemies, with everything exploding around him. Games like Call of Duty, Titanfall or Doom are perfect examples of this. However, newest Wolfenstein offered something different, and in this video I wanted to take a closer look at what makes this game stand out from the crowd. First major difference is its protagonist. Wolfenstein 2 is very much a personal story of our main character, BJ Blazkowicz, who is not in best shape after first game's ending. You wake up in a new boat few months later, unable to walk and function properly, and only after a few missions you get your hand on a power armor that is only thing keeping BJ going. Through half of this game, BJ is at death's doorstep, and it certainly shows in gameplay and in his personal monologues. His body is failing him, and he is no invincible superhero like he was in first game. BJ is also no cheerful guy. You can see that he has been through a lot, a broken man with destroyed body, and like I mentioned, there are times where he monologues and talks to himself and his dead friends. These monologues are dark, grim, and showcase different weaker side of BJ as well. They happen quite frequently, especially at beginning of game, where you get to hear BJ's opinions and thoughts about current situation. His childhood is also explored, showing his racist father, who made him do some horrible things and partially shaped BJ into man he is, and also his relationship with mother, as well as a small girl from his neighborhood, that play a huge part as well. Part of story also focuses on BJ's and Anya's relationship, showing that BJ is just a normal man with pregnant wife and his main motivation is to keep them safe along with his friends. You get to see him interact with huge amount of people, show compassion, mercy, and even brutality at times if needed. This deep exploration of main character's personality, showcasing his weaknesses and upbringing, relationships and reactions, is something that makes BJ stand out from other FPS heroes that rarely have any meaningful stories behind them or interesting personalities. It makes you invested in BJ and you want to see him succeed and get a happy ending for himself and his family. Story itself is also a lot better than I expected, with good cast of characters to accompany BJ, some returning from first game, but also a few new ones that shake things up. Each one of them has a personal story and unique personality. There is huge emphasis on story here, with long and frequent cutscenes, along with slower parts, when you mainly see plot unfold. Your ship is one of places where a lot of story happens. After most of the missions, you return here, and you can talk to its residents, help them with their problems, or just watch their daily lives. Ship is pretty huge, so there is a lot to explore, and each time you return to it, there are some new stories to see. Normally, in FPS games, you move from mission to mission, with small cutscenes at the end and beginning of levels. However, Wolfenstein is not afraid to take control away from you anytime, if its story demands it. Story is rich, featuring both dark and humorous segments, with lots of deaths on both sides, and some intense story moments that have nothing to do with gameplay. Humor and seriousness are well balanced, and game knows when to use a joke and when it is better to stay serious. You can see that the developers took their time with creating a compelling story that is not just there to give you a reason to move from one level to another, but an integral part of this game, with good storytelling and well-crafted cutscenes. When it comes to gameplay, it doesn't just offer linear levels and shooting galleries. In most cases, you can choose a stealthy approach, and if you are good at stealth, you can basically go through maybe 2/3 of the game without sounding off any alarms. If you decide to play this game stealthily, there are a few ways to approach each level, with the different paths or tactics you can use. Now personally, I am an impatient person, so I usually went loud whenever I screwed up something, but if you are patient, it is possible to sneak around without firing a single bullet. Now this approach to FPS is a welcomed change. Usually, if there is an option of stealth in shooter games, it is in pre-selected areas, with scripts and guides to get you through them. For example, sniping missions in every Call of Duty that usually include you sneaking through base with your companion to tell you what to do. In Wolfenstein, no one takes your hand and you are free to tackle most of levels in any way you want. Now of course, since this is a shooter, there are a few parts where you must shoot your way out, but there aren't as many as I expected there to be. Now even if you sound an alarm and pull out your weapons, the game doesn't turn into corridor FPS. Enemies are smart. I had numerous cases when they tried and successfully flanked me, which could be done pretty easily thanks to huge levels, so you always have to watch your back. Changing your cover and moving around constantly is a must. This is where game kinda reminded me of Doom a little bit, because sometimes best thing to do was just to grab a shotgun, circle around enemies and kill them before they could get you. This was not an easy task too, since once you stopped moving, enemies would swarm and destroy you in seconds. It is fast, intense, and there is no room for error in this game. You cannot just camp behind barrier and wait for your health to regenerate. Enemies will kill you if you stay in one place for too long. Plus, if you are low on health, you have to actively search for medkits, since there is no auto-regenerating health here. Of course, you can also try to aim down your sights and play it slowly, but it is gonna be a lot harder, and I would recommend just dual wielding 2 assault rifles and going crazy. I also personally think that game is very hard, even on lower difficulty settings, and it is completely normal to die several times in a level before you succeed. To make it a bit easier, you can quick save your game anytime you want, which definitely helped a lot. One thing I also noticed is that there is no hit detection for you or your enemies. Now I am not sure if this was only case of higher difficulty setting I was playing on, but sometimes noticing where or who was shooting you was pretty hard without any on-screen indication. Overall, however, I would say that shooting is satisfying, movement feels good, and if you die, in 90% of cases, it was your fault for not paying attention. Only games similar to this style of play I tried out were before mentioned Doom and Titanfall with its vertical parkour gameplay. Call of Duty and other similar shooters feature pretty simple shooting mechanics, where you just duck behind cover, shoot enemies when they pop their head out of their cover, and then you hide behind your cover again to recover your health. So when I played Wolfenstein, I was very happy to see faster pace of combat. Levels are also pretty big, and I have to admit that level design wasn't always best. I got lost a few times, which slowed down tempo and created few boring sections. Developers could have added some visual clues, so we could at least roughly know where to go. This would especially help in underground labs or boat sections, where every corner looks very similar. Visually, each level is distinct, you are gonna be moving from small cities to factories, and you will even visit other planets. I'm also pretty sure I never even explored some parts of levels, because I couldn't find the few commanders necessary to complete side missions, which serves to show that levels are vast, with tons of available options, but also a bit hard to orientate around. Before mentioned side quests were also welcomed change of pace. In each one of them you are hunting a different general or commanding officer. You could once again try to mix up your tactics in them, with stealth approach being one option, but just like with most levels in this game, you can also shoot your way to your target. Wolfenstein 2 is not your typical FPS game. It features interesting protagonists with unique and deep personality, story that takes main stage over gameplay and that will keep you hooked until its end, and several types of gameplay where shooting your way out is not always best option. So if you are looking for something different than an usual shooter with shallow story and boring protagonists, Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus is exactly for you. And yeah guys, I guess that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that this video was long overdue, but I didn't have time to create it back in April when I originally wanted to release it. So I hope you guys will still enjoy it. For those of you that watched this video until the end, I would like to thank you. And I would also love to hear your opinions down in the comments about it. Maybe add some more things I forgot to mention about Wolfenstein. And you can also tell me your own personal reasons for liking it. Or if you didn't like it, you can share your reasons for that as well. Now the next video will either be about Just Cause 3 or I will have another top 10 for Fallout New Vegas. So you can look forward to that as well. As always, in the end I would like to know your guys' opinion about this video. About the script, editing, audio, if you could understand me or if I should slow down a little bit, and generally just tell me your thoughts about this video. It is very much appreciated. And yeah guys, once again I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, tell me what you think about it in the comments, subscribe for more Fallout and other games content, and I will see you next time.